Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I thought we could do a sit down chatty kind of video where I discuss all of the books that I want to kind of reread for the year of 2026. Now I know we're nearly halfway through the year, so I've probably made myself a really big pile, but I do really want to focus on doing a bit of rereading this year, especially because I have worked so hard with my physical TBR. There's just so many books that I do want to just reread. So I feel like I just kind of, yeah, I want to be able to reread my favorite books. And also, we have book series that are coming out that I haven't read in about a year, and they've then got another book, or I've got book series that I've been waiting 2 or 3 years for, and they've finally come out with a new release. So I'm obviously rereading them. So I feel like I'm going to stop rambling and I'm just going to kind of show you the book. I think we'll go for general fiction, then kind of the romance genre, and then we'll go to the fantasy genre. So for general fiction, I only really want to read this one book as a reread this year, and that is Carrie Soto's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, I really enjoyed this part of the book, and I really thoroughly just enjoyed everything about it. And I always said to myself that I definitely wanted to reread this book no matter when. So I feel like, especially tennis season is definitely coming soon. I believe the French Open and Wimbledon kind of starts soon. So I feel like I maybe want to kind of read it then, even though this was set in the US Open, I think, or the Australian one. Yeah, this was for the US Open. But I did really kind of enjoy this book, and I feel like a reread is just something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit of time now. I do think I will focus next year on rereading a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid books next year, especially. But I feel like this is the one that I've definitely been wanting to read the most. And then for romance, we have By a Thread by Lucy Score. And I really, really enjoyed this. Like, I really enjoyed this book. And it was one of those where I have always said to myself, I could see myself rereading it because I read it on Kindle, then I bought the paperback edition. And then I was like, I could always see myself rereading it. It was so floppy as well, which I really liked. And I just really, really liked the plot of this. And I think I gave this a 5 stars. And I think I read this not long after Sarah Caroli did her video on, like, I think it was like trying to find a 5 star or something. And then I saw that she had rated this 5 star. And at the time, me and Sarah Caroli had a lot of we had a lot of similar tastes at the time. So I knew kind of if she liked it, I was 9 times out of 10 going to like it, and I was no surprised that I rated this 5 star myself. And yeah, so this one is, I think it's it's a workplace romance, Grand Prix Sunshine, and I cannot wait. And I do think I want to tab this and annotate this. I think that's something that I definitely want to do. But I know you guys would think, well, you don't really like Lucy Score that much. I do like Lucy Score's writing. I just think I prefer her standalones to her series. I just feel like I get along with them better. Like, I really enjoyed Maggie's Moves On, and I've enjoyed By a Thread by Lucy Score. I think I've read a couple of others by her. Obviously, I read the Knockabout series and I only liked the first one and the third one. I didn't like the Worst Best Friends that much. But this one was definitely probably one that stands out and is a favourite of mine for sure. We then have the Cat and Mouse duology, Haunted and Hunted Adeline. Now, I was never really open to rereading this book, but then I've literally seen so many people on my TikTok and on my YouTube kind of do rereads and also read this for the first time, and it just reminds me of how much I did enjoy the series. And I think I rated it harsher than what I probably should have, because I did rate these both a 3 star, and in my head I think that was solely on the fact that I wasn't that much into dark romance at the time, whereas I could feel I could probably rate this a lot higher. I just think by the sheer size of them, like, I do get a little bit worried. But I definitely think I want to sit and annotate this for sure. So this is another series of the Cat and Mouse duology. Obviously, if you don't know, this is a dark romance book, and you follow Zaid Meadows and Adeline, as you can tell by the title of the covers. And as you can tell, they're dark romances. And I literally just watched my friend read this for the first time, and she loved it. And it made me just want to reread it again, just because I see so many people. And Larry doing a reread honestly had me want to do a reread as well, I'm not gonna lie. And she's also obviously another YouTube content creator and a bookish creator, and she's called Larry Reads, and I love her YouTube channel. And I watched a blog recently. I was going back through her channel and I was watching her reread this, and I was like, yes, I think I definitely need a reread. I think it's definitely time. We then have Emily Henry Happy Place. Now, I'm a little bit sad that we ain't getting Emily Henry released this year. I'm so sad. So I definitely think Happy Place by Emily Henry is definitely a reread I want to do. And she usually brings a book around anywhere between April and June. Usually it's around April, May time that she'll bring a book out. So I feel like maybe Happy Place will definitely be one that gets read sooner rather than later. And I just love this series. I just love her writing, and I really, really connected. And this was my first 5-star I had ever given Emily Henry, and I just think it's only fair that I allow myself to redo it. And then we also have Funny Story by Emily Henry. Again, it was the second 5-star I'd ever given Emily Henry, and I just love this book. And I really just want to sit and annotate this because I literally read this book so quickly. But I think I'm going to annotate both of these books as well. That would be really nice, just to have an annotated one. And what better to do with a reread of a 5-star? And I'm really sad again that Emily Henry isn't able to bring a book out this year, because you best believe I would have pre-ordered it, read it the day it arrived. And then the big old stack of fantasy books. Now, I know this is probably going to be extremely obnoxious amount of books, and I'm probably going to be kind of watching this back going, girl, you're delulu. Do you really think you're going to read all these? But it's fine. But we have the Assistant to the Villain series, and the 4th book comes out in August, and I want to reread all 3 of these books. So we have Assistant to the Villain, Apprentice to the Villain, and then Accomplice to the Villain. I really loved this whole kind of series. It was so good. I loved it. I really like the frog. Kingsley the frog he's just a character that I love. And I really love the cozy mystery side of the cozy side of this fantasy. I just think it's so cute, cozy, and it's just one where you haven't really got to focus too much. You can just sit there and enjoy the plot and enjoy kind of the story as what it is. And obviously it is a bit more of kind of a rom-com on a fantasy, but I really like how she does it, and the kind of the technique that she does. And I've loved every single one of them, and I think I just want to do a reread so that I can kind of I read this. So I read this, then I had to wait for a year for this to come out, and then I had to wait another year for this to come out. So I feel like I just want to reread them and then know that the next book is like close together. So this is definitely a reread I would love to do, and that is by Hannah Nicole Meyer. And then we have the Cruel Prince trilogy, sorry. So we have the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, and the Queen of Nothing. And this is by Holly Black. And this was my kind of first ever proper fantasy series that I ever got into when I got into reading. It was my first ever one that I properly read. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I would really like to go back and kind of have an annotated copy. And they're really small anyway, so it won't take me that long. I could probably read that in a weekend, which would be really nice, because it's probably a substantial side to a bigger book. Like, I don't know if we could compare. Like, it's probably like the same as that. And I just really cannot wait to kind of read this again. It's something that I've always said that I've wanted to do, which was a reread. I've always said I want to reread the series, and I've probably said it for about 2 years going on now. And I feel like this year I certainly am going to do a reread. I'm going to sit myself down, I'm going to park my bottom, and I'm going to sit and read this whole trilogy in a weekend, I'm sure. And I'm going to annotate it and things like that. I really love this series, and I really want an annotated copy of just my thoughts and feelings. And I think the last time that, like, when I read it the first time, I obviously was so invested in everything. I maybe had forgotten things that I needed later down the line, or I was so like in it. Whereas now I kind of, obviously I've read it, so it will kind of come back to me when I see things potentially. I don't know, but I cannot wait to reread that. And then obviously it's going to be no surprise that I'm even saying these 3 books, but we have the last 3 books in the Akasar series until we're caught up to date. So that's A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and A Court of Silver Flames. So as you know, book 6 of 7 of ACOTAR has been announced, and they are being released. So book 6 comes out in October 2026, and then we have January 2027. Yeah, we have October and January, so you best believe that I need to hurry my life up because these are huge. So I have done the first two and they're all annotated, so I do need to go in with the next one being A Court of Rings and Ruin, and I need to annotate this, and I feel like it's probably given me a bit of a kick up the bum to kind of get this going because my partner has been doing the audio edition of this and he's just finished the second book and I haven't even started the third book, knowing that he obviously drives for a living, that's his job, and he does it on audiobook. He drives a lot of miles, so I feel like he's probably going to finish this quicker than I'm going to finish it, but that's fine. At least we have something to talk about, bookish related. So yeah, we obviously have the next three books in the ACOTAR series, and I really want going off topic here, I really want ACOTAR 6 to be about Asriel. I don't know about anybody else, but I think we really need an Asriel book, so I hope it is. And let me know who you would want the next two ACOTAR books to be about. I want it to be about Asriel. I just think he's got such mysteriousness. I think I need to know. And then we have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So we have Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and A Curse for True Love. And this is by Stephanie Garber. And I really want to read the whole trilogy again. I am waiting to get this book in hard copy so that all of them are the same. And I just love the covers. So I'm hoping to get a hardcover soon so then I can have all three of them as hardcovers and I can sit and annotate them, because I don't really like that I have one as a paperback and then the other two. So I think I'm just going to get the other one in hardcover and then I can have a match and I can read it. This was honestly one of my very top series a couple of years ago when I read this, and I just absolutely devoured this book quicker than I ever thought, and I was obsessed, and I really just can't wait to be in this world again and feel all of the things that I felt, really. And then we have, for the next one, we have Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Now, if you know, I've recently read Wild Reverence and then Divine Rivals as a reread, and I now need to do my Ruthless Vows reread, and as you know, I've kind of annotated Wild Reverence and I annotated Divine Rivals, so I do need to annotate this copy. And I didn't really like this one as much as I did the first one, so I am very, very scared, but I also just cannot wait to get into this book again. I just literally love this whole series so much. Like, it was just one of those that I just read them so quickly and I just love them, and I really cannot wait to kind of read this book as a reread. And yeah, I just think their romance story is just cute. It's just too cute, guys. And then the last one but not least, Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider, and I read this quite a while ago, and as we know, Light Builder is coming out on the 11th of June, so I really need to get this reread in before the 11th of June because I need to recap myself, and I'm just obsessed. I think I would also love to maybe annotate this potentially. Not that I annotate all my rereads, normally I will just reread them, but I don't know whether I would want to annotate this, I'm not sure. But I cannot. I feel like a reread is coming. It's definitely impending within the next kind of couple of weeks. I think by the time June has come, I'm hoping to already have reread this already for Light Builder to come out. But if not, I will be binging it a couple of days before. I do have the week before off, so potentially I could read this in the week off, and then I haven't got that long to go. But yeah, those are all of my rereads that I want to do for the rest of the year of 2026. And I don't know if I'm being a little bit too ambitious, but I definitely, with 21 books on TBR, and I don't know how many rereads that I want to do, I definitely think I have set myself up for a really big goal. But let me know if you've got any rereads on the plan for for the year of 2026. Let me know if you've got any rereads, or if you're looking out for anything in particular this year, let me know in the comments. But I hope you have a lovely, wonderful rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.